I'm Eileen O'Hara. I'm a Reiki practitioner, a light and energy worker, and a citizen of Earth. I'm also
the queen of rock and roll, Melody Trouble Vixen MTV!
a notorious bad guy from My life is anything but dull. I've had a lot of adventures, and like everyone else, I'm struggling to get through these strange times. So I'm challenging you to become your own best friend. Like any relationship, it takes work. So let's step into the ring and have some fun. This is Wrestling with Your Best Friend. Welcome, and thank you for coming along on this journey to become your own best friend. You know, every time I research a topic or speak to a guest or even speak to someone I've known for years, I learn something new. When I first heard the term self-care, I thought it meant personal hygiene. Well, it can include personal hygiene, but it means so much more than that. Self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress, like for instance, a pandemic and all that comes with it, isolation, job loss, loss of a loved one, or maybe you find yourself so inundated that you don't have time to do the things that make us feel taken care of. To be a whole person, we must do the things that make us feel taken care of mentally, physically, and emotionally, and we must now do them differently. My guest today is a delightful individual who has dedicated his life to bringing physical and mental well-being to others, first in the hospitality industry and then in the wellness industry. I am inspired by his resilience and readiness to adapt in a crisis and change his life while still being committed to bringing wellness to others. I hope you're able to benefit from his example as I have. It is my distinct pleasure to bring you Leo Ranieri. My guest today is someone very special. This is Leo Ranieri. He is the founder and CEO of Massage at Work, something that's very near and dear to my heart. So welcome, Leo, to Wrestling with Your Best Friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Well, I'm excited to have you here because I am a big fan of Massage at Work. The corporation I used to work for offered Massage at Work to its employees. And every time that meeting reminder popped up that said, your massage is in 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, glory, hallelujah. They called them mini vacations, and they truly were. I used to configure and deploy mobile devices. So my head was always like this, you know, down into a iPhone or iPad. And I had tech neck and I had mouse arm too from clicking mouse all day. And that really helped. Having that person come and work on my neck and shoulders was a godsend. Our topic today is self-care. And it is defined as any activity we deliberately do in order to take care of our mental, emotional, and physical health. And for me, massage ticks all those boxes.
Yes.
Tell us a little about, self-care and what it means to you and how massage fits in.
Yes. Well, self-care came a long time ago when I was working in human resources in the hotel restaurant business, mostly the restaurant business in New York City. And in that environment, there was lots of stresses of keeping up with managing staff levels for the restaurant, making sure employees were trained properly, and maintaining our level of sophistication in a very expensive restaurant in Rockefeller Center.
Wow.
So in my realization later on, as I found myself, my immune system affecting me and making me ill, and that was my warning. It was time you got to do something better for yourself and just go to work 9 to 7 or 8 to 7 and then head home and eat and go to bed and start all over again. I came across wonderful friends in my life who said, go get a massage. And I thought that was ridiculous. Why would I want to get a massage? So as a male, it's kind of like, okay, what do I do? Do I go male therapist? Do I go to female therapist? So I chose a caring female therapist. And of course, I'm a caring male therapist, but I just felt, comfortable with going to a female therapist. And doing that for a while, it helped me manage my stress. It helped me think clearer and lower my blood pressure. Nice. And then start looking at with a massage therapist who did other modalities like polarity and reflexology, how it calmed me down and improved my work life and improved my entire life in general. So after continuing on in human resources, growing the corporate ladder, becoming a corporate director of HR, and the last assignment being, 9/11 coming and going into the hotel business where there's no more traveling. It seems like we're going back to video conferencing again. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to go back to corporate America. And I became a massage therapist. Became a massage therapist, and having some doors closed at me because they were looking for female therapists, I decided, you know what? I've got this amazing toolbox of human resources, recruiting, benefit knowledge, able to talk to other HR directors and benefit directors, that I decided to create Massage at Work. The name was available and I took it. In the past 15 years, I've been growing really nicely, about 10% every year.
That's big growth.
Yeah, it was really amazing. The whole journey was meditating. Send me good customers who love this benefit and appreciate it. And I've come across many companies, health insurance, computer companies, creative design firms that respect that knowledge of, if we are able to manage our stress, our dis-ease in our body, that we can be more productive in work.
Yes, I've heard self-care also mentioned in the terms of, if you're trying to pour water into someone's glass, you can't pour water into anyone's glass if your pitcher is empty. Every day we pour ourselves into jobs, into our family, into ourself, others, those we love, even driving, you're pouring yourself into dealing with that situation. And self-care is the tools that we use to fill up our pitcher.
Recharge.
Yes.
Yeah, rejuvenate.
And as a ring fighter, anyone that steps into the ring and goes into a combat sport, I mean, that's in the extreme, but massage is so essential for me. Yeah. And I think it does touch on mental and emotional healing too, because when I'm, face down on that table, and Massage at Work, it's the stand up with your clothes. I mean, it's a stand up chair. You're sitting in the chair with your clothes on. But I also do the other long form, which is, 1 to 2 hours face down on the table. Yeah. I've noticed that it does put me in a meditative state. Like right after my father passed away, I got onto that massage table, and as they were working on me, the tears. So it is an emotional release as well. You talked a little bit about your inspiration to start this business was that you had been, you were tired of corporate and you had been reorged, but you have a specific message about care for employees. What led you to that message in wellness?
It continued on in a different fashion, I guess, and just taking care of others. Everyone that we brought on board were people that believed in the mission of the company. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm looking at the mission of every individual of being healthier and managing stress and not blowing up on a small situation. That just take a deep breath, center yourself, think of the good, and continue on bringing up that good and have a more understanding of others. My focus always with my client is, what is your focus? What are areas you need help in this treatment? And it could be, my lower back or my feet or my shoulders, and help alleviate and give them that flexibility and clarity that they need to really do their job and be a better human being on this planet.
That goes deep. That's more than just relax your staff so that they're less stressed and they're nicer in the meetings. But I'm sure that does help too.
It was just helping others. It was a focus of helping others be better in what they do. and accomplish their goals that they want in their life.
And it seems like we don't get rattled out of our comfort zones until there's some crisis. Like you said, 9/11 changed your whole outlook for how you wanted to do business. Now we're in the middle of this pandemic.
Yes.
I was laid off of one job. I moved, and then this pandemic hit. I mean, I had all these plans where I was just going to move to Utah, get a job immediately, and it was going to be wonderful. Well, no one's hiring, or the only people hiring are telemarketers who want you to sell things to old people. It was terrible. I quit this job because I was physically shaking, because I couldn't do it anymore after hearing the third person saying, oh, I just went blind because I had a stroke, or, I just had a heart. And I'm like, these people don't need to be harassed. I just said, I have to resign. Just trying to get a job right now is just terrible. So this brought me despair. I was grieving and I was having depression. I thought, I have to do something about this. I have to start a podcast and bring a message of wellness and health, because I know I'm not the only person going through this. I know the entire nation is experienced loss and trauma, and it's probably affected your business model too. So,
yes, very much so.
Yeah, because, office buildings are closing.
Yes, and they may continue on closing. It'd be like everyone may just end up working from home and juggling so many home projects, as well as working from home, and children who maybe still be at home and learning from home, and the interruptions that come from being at home.
Well, and now people who would normally get massage, now they're having to find time for self-care. I imagine our joy pitcher and our, give to others pitcher is getting a little empty. How is that? I mean, you are the largest nationwide mobile massage.
There's some competition, but I guess California was always forward thinking and out there first. So they've been more progressive in this world of wellness. As a New Yorker, we're always rushing and getting things done. But I'd like to say we have over 500 massage therapists around the country. The focus has been in the workplace to help improve clarity and productivity. My thoughts these days are like, maybe we should start focusing on warehousing employees, people who do repetitive work in a factory environment. Health fairs these days, not many. There's still some in consideration, but not many can actually congregate that many employees to a health fair. So we're looking at a different approach of distribution centers, high production type of environments.
That would have to change your model completely, but those are good ideas.
Thank you.
I also think you should start a YouTube channel where you talk about wellness, because you have a wealth of experience. You have a lot to give, and you have a desire to give. And I think that would be a good idea to just start talking about health and wellness for people, because you've been doing this a long time.
And you're my first, so you're inspiring me to do so. It's been nudging, my friends are nudging, you need to do YouTube. And I think the big piece is mental health. It's so important that we take care of our mental health, because we're all wonderful people who have wanting to do more, but are stuck that they can't. Yes. But there are other ways of doing it, just like redesigning yourself. Okay, you're not going to go to the office, but you can work at other facilities that are not office type.
And we have to change. We all have to have the PPE. We all have to sanitize everything. Yes. You're going to have to protect your workers and protect the employees that come for the services. Everything has changed. I don't do anything the same way anymore.
No, we don't, right? I don't go to the supermarket on the weekends anymore because everyone else goes there. So it's like, let's pick a time of the day when not many people are there. So we're protecting ourselves, our self-care. Yeah.
So what do you do for your mental health? What's your ideal regime?
Well, I think it's important that we exercise and that we get that adrenaline going by either walking. I got my steps, and I go to a park typically during lunchtime, and I also bought myself a treadmill just in case on those weathers that we can't go outside. Stretching is really important too, to get the blood flowing around the body. I haven't had a massage, but eventually, in certain states, there are limitations. So right now in our state, we're not allowed to go to New Jersey. We're not allowed to go to anyone's home. And my practice was primarily office. So I don't know if I'm ready to start having strangers come to visit my home and doing massages in my studio. So eating right, try not to snack too much, manage your weight, making sure that you're not, weigh yourself. It's really important just to make sure that you're staying steady there and that you're not getting larger than you want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since this started, I've lost 40 pounds because, mostly because I bought a home, and I call it house hiking because you start in one room, do what needs to be done there. Something takes you to another room. So I have to do this, this, and this over here. And then that takes you to another room while you're putting this away. Oh gosh, this. So, I'm constantly house hiking and yard hiking too, because watering. So, and eating less. And eating better too. I've cut out cutting out the sugar. Oh my goodness.
Very much.
Yeah.
And being really Italian myself, it's getting rid of the bread. No more bread. Carbs.
I love bread too. I love to cook and I love to eat. And bread is one of my favorite things, especially if it's a really crackly, crunchy, crusty French sourdough,
I love it.
But I have really limited that too. So, it's once in a while. That it does help if you cook, because cooking is also a self-care activity if you love to do it.
You're right.
I've learned that it can be any activity you enjoy, even cleaning. If you like to have a clean home, let's face it, we're in our homes most of the time now. Fill those hours with something that's going to make you feel better, like cleaning or figuring out your life based on the fact that you're going to stay home. I'm glad a lot of people are figuring out how to work from home. And you talked about wellness motivation for companies. How do you go in there and talk to a company about the wellness motivation that you provide?
It's important to work with an HR director or benefits director who understands health, explaining to them about how the brain works. And if the brain is calm, then the brain is able to do more and think clearer and be more accurate in the work than an employee does. Sometimes it's just an employee appreciation. If you show appreciation to another, that employee feels like, this person cares about me, and I'll do more. I'll come in later. I'll stay later because my company cares for me. Putting that forward and letting them understand that a more productive employee is one that's appreciated and is able to take some time to meditate, take a walk around the compound, and not feel that stress, because, as I mentioned earlier, stress creates dis-ease in the body. Yes. And that's when we start either having skin issues, dieting issues, and makes us sick and not be productive or go to work.
What do you recommend for meditation techniques? Because you had mentioned meditation. What would you tell people? There's a lot of people who've never meditated before. So, how would you teach them how to do that, or tell them how to start?
There's so many resources these days on the internet to find, and podcasts regarding how to center yourself, how to do some breathing. I found a wonderful podcast through Esther Hayes, or Going Into the Vortex, which is more looking at what you want and meditating in a positive sense and not worrying about the bad things that are happening around you that we sometimes may not have control over, but knowing what we want in our lives and what's going to make us happy. It's important to feel good, and that feeling good just grows in us, and it attracts more feel-good opportunities. So in meditating, even if it's just 5 minutes, staying quiet, looking at a flower, or looking at water in a brook, or looking at the clouds, and just feeling blessed that you're good, that you're healthy, and that good things are going to come to you because you're a good person.
You know what? I felt that.
You did?
I did. I felt that. I got a wave of,
Yeah. And that feeling that you just gave me thought of, even smelling aromatherapy oils like lavender or sweet orange or lemon can just calm us down.
Now, self-care is one of the most important things I think we can do for ourselves. So what are your thoughts on becoming your own best friend?
Not being so critical about yourself. Be active for yourself in the sense of taking care of yourself, making the time, even if it might be a short minute, being with friends who are positive and encouraging, but knowing that you've got to make the time. It's not just going to sleep and thinking sleeping is going to energize you, but doing things that are going to help your immune system, getting positive feedback, that energy helps me tremendously.
We all like that positive feedback. I must tell you that I have benefited so much from my many vacations from Massage at Work. I wish that I could have that every day. And anyone who's thinking about having Massage at Work, when we're able to, please do. And I'm really looking forward to your loving and caring YouTube videos about mental wellness, wholeness, and becoming a whole being, because I think you have a lot to give.
I'm so blessed to have met you and to be part of your audience and helping them overcome any stresses that they have in this somewhat sad time, but we know we're going to overcome it together.
Well, and it's now more important than ever that we are here for each other and that we listen and we hear each other.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
a part
My pleasure.
of Wrestling with Your Best Friend.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
I hope you find Leo as inspiring as I do. Now more than ever, it is so important that we take that time to take care of ourselves so that we feel mentally, emotionally, physically taken care of. If we want to give someone that glass of joy, our pitcher has to be full. So take care of yourself. It's time for the wrap up. And you know what that means. Things may seem not so swift, so give yourself a loving gift. If you want to be in the best of health, make some time to take care of yourself.
Woo! That's our show for today. Thank you for the gift of your time. If you like what you heard, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. I want to remind everyone that the opinions expressed on today's show belong entirely to those expressing them. You can email your opinions to melodytroublevixen@outlook.com or leave comments here on the YouTube channel, Melody Trouble Vixen. Until next time, keep
Wrestling with your best friend.